Hour Nation. Michael Buckhatcher here with the Man Hour, over manhourradio.com. Check out the merchandise page or check out the blog section as well. We got a Way No Way Monday coming up for you guys. We got some wide receiver free agents. We're going to talk about Michael Pittman Jr., Gabe Davis, Tyler Boyd, Mike Evans, Odell Beckham Jr., and of course Michael Thomas. See where they land. 49ers have made some interesting moves. The combine is officially over. What are our thoughts about that? But first, and now, Mike's thoughts. As the NFL Combine 2024 has officially come to an end, it was a 4 great days. 2024 is officially in the books, and many people did not showcase their talents, and we've been kind of adamant of whether it's good or a bad thing. We've been talking a lot about it here on the Man Hour. But guys, Jayden Daniels won the NFL Combine without even throwing a single ball, without even really talking to a single reporter, without really even doing much of anything. How did he win the NFL Combine, you might ask? When he was asked, it says, "Why are you not throwing today?" He said, and I quote, "Many players did not get invited to this NFL Combine. Many of my teammates. So I will save my throwing ability for my pro day in late March to put more eyes on my teammates." Jayden Daniels wants to deliver his platform to help further LSU players, such as their defensive linemen and offensive linemen and running backs and their seniors that did not get invited to the NFL Combine. Jayden Daniels, by simply saying those 14 words, put him at the top of my list. This Jayden Daniels is a man's man. He cares about the people around him. He wants the people around him to succeed. Caleb Williams, all you see is like, "Oh, how much? What are you going to give me? How much of this you going to give me? How much of that you going to give me?" Jayden Daniels, bar none, the best prospect out there now. Bar none. This man is a man's man. Cue that intro. Are you ready for the best damn NFL show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
Yeah, hey, let's go. Hitting that gridiron, we going hard, we running the plays. You know the vibe, only the strong survive. Gotta keep your head in the game. Talking NFL, uncut, straight raw, steady bringing that sauce. We about to take off, get it hype. This man, our sport talk. Yeah, from the quarterback to the lineman, everybody bringing heat. You don't really want to try them. Hey, who gon' win? It's a battle of the giants. This show is the flyest. Nobody can deny it. This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception? This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception? Let's go.
And good morning, Man Hour Nation. Michael Buckhatcher with the Man Hour NFL Talk. Ever the NFLtoday.co. That's NFLtoday.co. Check out the new website that's getting ready to drop here in, I don't know, about 2 hours. Once I'm done here, I'm going to put a little final touches on it. Bada bing, bada boom. She live, baby. Also, the forums are officially live as well over there at NFLtoday.co. So be sure to join a part of the forums. Check out the new website, and there's a lot of stuff happening over there, guys. So I'm really intrigued if you guys would go out there and check it out. We'll give you a preview of the website on tomorrow's show once I get a little time to edit and put a little video together. But guys, this is a live interactive show. But if you haven't become a Pigskin Pundit already, in the link below, there is a support tab. Click on that support tab, become a Pigskin Pundit, and you get footage to after our show. We break down film. We go deep into like a personal level type of talk there. And you guys get free merch. You get free access to certain parts of our forums. You get access to free bets, meaning when the NFL season rolls around and we have that dollar pick'em wars for a chance to win 100, bada bing, bada boom, that's free entry. So free dollar bills. Yo, Also, guys, this is a live interactive show. Comments are encouraged. Talk your stuff in the comments below, but be ready to defend yourself. No holds bar here, no bars here. But guys, we do got to welcome some people into the chat here. We got, that's not the chat. There's a chat over there. There we go. We got my man Wayne G in the chat. He says, I can't wait to work on some blogs for you. Listen, Wayne G is by far one of the best bloggers that I know personally. I read all of his stuff. It is all very intelligent, and you can tell it is from Wayne G's soul. He likes to call people out in his blogs, and I absolutely love it. I love it when people want to put their thoughts to paper. And if you guys are interested in being a blog writer, feel free to hit me up. Then we got my man Drew. Drew is a pigskin pundit. He says, good morning, Buck. Good morning to you as well, Drew. Hope you're having a grand old day, man. Drew, I love you. Have not seen you in quite some time, ever since we've gone to the day shift here, the 10 a.m. guys, but some changes are happening probably here around April, May time. We'll be transitioning back into the afternoon show. So 3 p.m. East Coast time is when the afternoon show will officially start. We do not have a start time date, but it'll be between April and May. There's a transitional process that we're going through right now. And just to get some things lined up and squared away. But welcome to the show, Drew. Welcome to Drew. Hopefully, once we go into the afternoon show, Drew, you can join us a hell of a lot more. And hopefully people like Wayne G and John and Jim and those guys. And it does not affect their ability to, join the show. But sometimes, guys, life throws a curveball and you got to sit back on it and you got to hit it out of the park. And that's exactly what we do here. But, guys, as you guys know, I went to Indianapolis over this weekend. I was up there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for part of the day. When I get home, my house is nice and clean. My wife did a wonderful job. Cleaned the house, shot the bottom, shampooed the carpets, vacuumed dust, all the good stuff. And I was like, whoa, honey. Whoa. Me and the boys were up in Indy. She was at home, and she's like, I'm not going to do nothing but clean. And absolutely love her for it. But when we got home, I was a little hungry. I was like, man. Because, she had some chili Thursday. We had some chili and we're cooking it up, and usually there's leftover chili. And if you guys have never had leftover chili, it's by far the best thing ever invented. But we throw it in a butter bowl or a whipped cream bowl or something. We throw it in the refrigerator and call it a day. I'm looking through the fridge and there's a cheesecake tub. Well, this is new. Maybe it was just like it was sponsoring cheesecake to put whipped cream on, whatever, right? So I opened it up expecting it to be chili. Had no idea there was actually cheesecake in there. Threw it in the microwave, warmed it up. I started something like that doesn't smell like chili. Open it up, it's just this pool of cheesecake. Did you guys know they make tubs of cheesecake now? There is no crust. There's no strawberries on top or cherries on top. It's just a cheesecake in a tub, and you can eat it out of a bowl. Boom. This is why we're fat. Guys, this is why we are fat in this world. So this is why we're fat. Jim says, why, Wayne? If they don't mention the Cowboys or the Chiefs, it won't be right. Jamin says, I got a question for you. Would there be less of a draft bust if the draft order was flipped? The best team had the number one pick and the worst team had the last pick, and so on and so forth. No. Because a draft bust is not necessarily where you get, well, it is where you get picked, but most of these top players that would be going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 overall, such as quarterbacks, are the Kansas City Chiefs drafting Caleb Williams? Are the Kansas City Chiefs drafting a Jaden Daniels? Are the Kansas City Chiefs drafting a Blake Drake May? I should say no. So flipping the draft order would not change how many NFL busts there are, right? I mean, I feel like a NFL bust is hype of the player, where you go and how you perform, right? So if a hype of Caleb Williams, for example, and he goes down to, I don't know, let's say he goes to 10th overall pick, and it would be like, who would be drafting there? Like the Giants. If he's still bad, he's still bad. It's still a bust. So I don't think it would change any way, shape, or form of how good or how bad you are as far as like the draft stock goes. I mean, because if you're bad, you're bad. I mean, like if you suck, you suck. Like I don't think the drafting order is going to affect that Jameson whatsoever. But people here in the chat, guys, do you agree with Jameson? Do you think maybe if they would flip the draft, would there be less NFL busts? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. And then you wouldn't have a team like the Houston Texans coming out of nowhere, right? You wouldn't have a team like the Chicago Bears consistently getting it wrong up at the top, right? It would be dumb to flip the draft order anyway. So I don't think that is even a legit question. But in the end, it is what it is. And guys, let's get into the title segment of today's show. The San Francisco 49ers, guys, they have hired an assistant coach. They have hired an assistant coach to the one and only Kyle Shanahan. They hired the one and only Brandon Staley. Brandon Staley has officially been named assistant head coach to the San Francisco 49ers. So that means if Kyle Shanahan can't fulfill his duties for a week, he's sick, he gets suspended, something happens, bada bing, bada boom, Brandon Staley is the guy, the myth, the legend. Guys, Brandon Staley is 24-24 as a Chargers head coach. He did make a playoff in 2022, but he gave a 28-point lead to the Jacksonville Jaguars. He did replace Anthony Lynn after being fired from the LA Chargers. Lynn was also fired from the San Francisco 49ers this month. Nothing like some sloppy seconds. But with that being said, when we look at Brandon Staley and the San Francisco 49ers and Kyle Shanahan in general, the biggest knock of them is the fact that they cannot coach/win big games. They get out-coached in the big games. Andy Reid has done it twice to Kyle Shanahan. The Philadelphia Eagles did it to him in the NFC Championship game the previous year. The biggest knock on Kyle Shanahan is he shrinks in the big moments. Brandon Staley is the exact same thing as Kyle Shanahan is. He will take all the risk in the world in a meaningless game, 4th and 1 or 4th and 20. Hell, let's go for it. But when you're playing like the Chiefs and the Raiders in a game that actually might get you into the playoffs, your butthole puckers like, we should probably kick it away. I know it's 4th and 1 at the 30, and if we kick it in the end zone, we're only going to gain 10 yards. But we don't want to get him the ball at the 30. Like Brandon Staley is a terrible head coach. He was a terrible head coach. However, there is some light at the end of the tunnel, right? When Brandon Staley did come into the NFL, he was a defensive coach for the Chicago Bears, linebacking coach, and a linebacking coach for the Denver Broncos as well. He also was the Rams defensive coordinator back in 2020 when they did have the number 1 scoring defense and the number 1 total yards allowed. Flashback to 2020, man, the Rams were really, really, really good. So, guys, I got to ask the question. Is Brandon Staley a good hire for the San Francisco 49ers? They have not hired a defensive coordinator yet. John Lynch said they're taking their time. They need to find the exact mold that they have. They've been building a great defense for 7 years. They need to find that defensive coordinator that is going to know how to work this defense. But is Brandon Staley a good hire as assistant head coach? Does that mean he'll be defensive coordinator? No. Should he? Probably. Most assistant coaches are defensive coordinators. But guys, let me jump in the comments here and let me ask you guys this question. Is it a good hire? Wayne G says, I like the hire, but I'm perplexed about them making their passing coordinator the defensive coordinator. I don't think they hired a defensive coordinator. He was just promoted to like nickel and dime packages. Now, I'm not saying he won't be promoted as defensive coordinator, but they did interview the Kansas City Chiefs defensive back coach for their defensive coordinator. I got to know if that interview has taken place yet, but it is in the works. if it has happened, he didn't get hired. But whatever. I mean, Brandon Staley it's a tough hire. Jim says is he the exact same guy as Josh McDaniels? I don't think he is the same as that guy as Josh McDaniels, because Josh McDaniels was a offensive guru, right? He was a guy that was supposed to take the Raiders to the next level, have this high-flying, prolific offense, whatever, do all that work. Brandon Staley was hired as a defensive guy. They already had their offensive coordinator intact. I forgot his name at the particular time. Now it's obviously Kellen Moore. But Brandon Staley was there to reamp the Chargers defense, and he did a good, decent job at it. Just could never win that game. What happened to Swartzen? The Chiefs defensive coordinator or the DB's coach? He's still there. I think he had an interview, but I'm not for sure where he's at with the 49ers, if they're moving forward at all. Why would you want to move from the Kansas City Chiefs, having the best defensive secondary ever, to the 49ers that shit the bed in the big games? I'm kidding. Jameson said he's good as a defensive coordinator. Yes, they did hire Nick Swartzen to be the DC, and Staley will help him. So Nick Swartzen is the defensive coordinator. Okay, I must have misread that. I thought he was just promoted to be like a nickel and dime package type of person. But you have your defensive coordinator. You have Brandon Staley in the wings to, mentor him, help him, whatever you want to call it. But me as a defensive coordinator, I have had a coach overlooking my shoulder, putting in their 2 cents, helping with me with the defensive game plans, very loose air quotes there. He was just basically waiting for me to F up so he can go rattle off to the head coach. Oh, Buck's doing this, and this, and I don't like it. That's probably what's happening in San Francisco. Swartzen, probably on a very, very short leash. Brandon Staley's going to come in there and swoop it up the minute there's any type of controversy on the San Francisco 49ers next season. I question the San Francisco 49ers coaching abilities right now. Actually, leadership abilities, to be honest. Because if you're hiring a defensive coordinator in Swartzen, which I think he will be successful. He's been in the system. He knows how it works. But then you hire an assistant coach to oversee him, to mentor him, to do this, and this. Brandon Staley obviously wants a defensive coordinator spot or another head coaching job. He doesn't want to be an assistant. He doesn't want to be a mentor. He wants the job. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. I don't like it. But guys, it is Monday, and that means one thing and one thing only. A little bit of way or no way. I thought I had some graphics here. No, maybe not. Oh, well, I need to fix that. But guys, why or no way is very, very simple. I've been out trolling the old interwebs. I've been putting out some feelers, and this day, we're going to talk about wide receivers. The free agency wide receiver market is very, very hot. There's a lot of big names out there. So we're going to put out a name, and we're going to determine if it's a way or no way if said player signs with a certain team again, with their old team, right? So guys, let's go ahead and get it started. Started here. But first things first here is March 5th is where teams can start to franchise tag players or transition the players into, saying, hey, we're not going to have you anymore. It's time for you to look for a new team. So tomorrow is when all the fireworks start to happen. Now, we've heard rumors of, this player getting franchise tagged, this player restructuring their contract, this person getting signed by said team. Nothing can be finalized until March 11th. So all those things that you guys hear by, all these sports memes and sports trolls and all this crap, simply just trolling, guys. So don't buy into it until you hear anything on March 11th, and that's when all the magic does happen. But the first way or no way of the day here, let me jump over to my handy dandy computer here and look at I deleted it. Dang it. I had all the stats up there, but guys, that is my fault 100%. I'm not going to take time to go back into it. But Odell Beckham Jr. is a free agent right now. Odell Beckham Jr. did sign a 1-year deal with the Ravens last season. He got off to a very, very slow start, one catch in like first 3 or 4 weeks, and then he kind of exploded midway through the season. But when they needed him the most, Odell Beckham Jr. was kind of a tale of two cities. He cannot be found. With that being said, guys, way or no way do the Ravens sign Odell Beckham Jr.? When we look at Odell Beckham Jr., he's 31 years old, 32 years old, going into the 2024 NFL season. He has since then had 2 torn ACLs. He missed all 2022 with a torn ACL. And then, obviously last season he was a shell of himself. So I think it is a no way. I do not think the Ravens re-sign Odell Beckham Jr. I think there are teams out there that are hungry for a receiver, hungry for a past of the glory days, and that is one and only New York Football Giants. I think Odell Beckham Jr. signs a deal with the New York Football Giants in the upcoming weeks here and tries to grasp on to the last little life that he has of his legs and, gives it one last hoorah. The New York Giants are in a very particular situation here. They're probably going to let Saquon Barkley walk. They need a receiver help, and Daniel Jones is signed a really, really big deal. So the New York Giants are in a do or die situation right now. So why not go out and try to grasp a receiver like Odell Beckham Jr. that you can sign for 1, maybe 2 years, $9-10 million, and do that work. Do that work, guys. So let me know. Do you think Odell Beckham Jr. re-signs with the Baltimore Ravens? Way or no way? Let's go ahead and jump back into the chat here. Jameson says that Evans just re-signed to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I was actually prepping for the show, and Mike Evans was a guy that I was going to talk about. And I was going to say that the Buccaneers should do whatever it takes to keep him. And that's exactly what they did. I believe it was like a $50 million, $52 million deal, something crazy, right? But basically it's like $26-25 million per season over the next 2 years, 2 years guaranteed, 1 year obviously optional, but it was a good thing here. What's up, Combsy? Combs is in the chat, and he says Evan just signed a 2-year extension with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Like I said, you can't sign till the 11th, but obviously it's probably going to go that way. Jameson says Odell Beckham Jr. is going to go to Kansas City. Do you guys remember last year when like Odell Beckham Jr. kind of went on like his recruiting tour? And I believe he went to the Giants. He went to the Ravens. I want to say he went to the Cowboys as well. Did he go to the 49ers? The Kansas City Chiefs were never on his radar. And to be totally honest, I don't like Odell Beckham Jr. in Kansas City. I think he has Odell Beckham Jr. has been kind of living on the look what I did 10 years ago mentality his whole career. Yes, he did have a first good 3 years in New York. He did have the catch, but after the catch, he hasn't done nothing. Now, Odell Beckham Jr. is a good receiver. He's not a number 1 receiver, probably not a number 2 receiver. He's a good, solid number 3 receiver. And if he were to go to Kansas City, he would be expected to be the guy. He would be expected to be the number 1 receiver. And I don't think he has that in him anymore. He needs to go to a team where he can be a number 2, where he can be like a helper type of person. That's what I think he needs to do. Wayne G says, no way. OBJ is going to chase a ring, and Ravens are losing like 10 starters to free agency. Exactly right. Ravens are in cap hell, right? It's giving Lamar Jackson that deal right before the draft last season. I don't know. Jim says, no way. How old is that dude? That blonde patch is gray now. Odell Beckham Jr. is 31 years old, will be 32 at the start of the NFL season. So kind of at the latter part of his career, kind of at that point where, it's kind of like shit or get off the pot time. So if you guys do not think he's going to sign with the Ravens, he's going to be, quote, ring chasing. Obviously, the Giants do not fit that mold. The Kansas City Chiefs would probably fit that mold. I mean, the Baltimore Ravens would fit that mold. They are a Super Bowl caliber team. But then you got teams like the Cowboys and 49ers, and you could throw the Lions in there. There are a lot of potentials where Odell Beckham Jr. could go and, quote, ring chase and be the number 2 guy, which I think he is going to be on whatever team he has. Obviously, guys, Mike Williams, I was going to talk about him next, but he signed a 2-year, $52 million. He's going to sign a 2-year, $52 million with the Buccaneers, and this is the notes that I have here, right? The Bucs should do whatever it takes to keep him. Whatever it takes. And $52 million is what it took. Next up is Tyler Boyd. Tyler Boyd is a free agent going into the Cincinnati Bengals this season. He has been the biggest unsung hero in Cincinnati the last few seasons. He has been the glue that has held Ja'Marr Chase together, T. Higgins together. He has been kind of like that Wes Welker type of guy, keeping everybody together, getting the big catches when they need the catches. Like I said, he has been the unsung hero in Cincinnati, and he has kind of been like the outlier, right? He has been the black sheep. They've been all worried about signing Ja'Marr Chase, and T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd's kind of like afterthought, right? So with that being said, I think his price tag will be somewhat less. So guys, way or no way do the Cincinnati Bengals sign Tyler Boyd? I'm going to go with no way on this. I do not think that they sign Tyler Boyd. I think they are going to let Tyler Boyd walk and not even try to franchise tag him, try to work out a deal, a hometown discount, or anything. I don't think they really know how much Tyler Boyd means to him. The radar has been on T. Higgins, Ja'Marr Chase, right? Mixon. Tyler Boyd's kind of been just like an afterthought. So like I said, his price tag will be a little bit less than some of these other free agents. Odell Beckham Jr., Michael Pittman, Michael Thomas, Gabe Davis. And therefore, I think a team that is in kind of strapped for money, that is near that top of the cap, but needs a wide receiver, would be perfect. And I think that is the one and only the Kansas City Chiefs. I think Tyler Boyd to the Kansas City Chiefs makes perfect sense. He has been the unsung hero in Cincinnati for so long. You bring him to Kansas City on an $8 million deal, $9 million deal, somewhat below market value. I think he would thrive in Kansas City, and he would be the number 1 guy. Now, after that 1-year, 2-year deal's over, he's going to want some money because he's going to be the guy putting up 1,000-yard receiving yards year after year after year. But right now, Tyler Boyd, the Kansas City, makes most sense to me. So I'm going to go with no way. I don't think the Cincinnati Bengals re-sign Tyler Boyd. I think he goes to the Kansas City Chiefs. Wayne says no way. Boyd has been a number 1 4-3, and someone's going to pay him to be a legit number 2. I think it'd be perfect for the Kansas City Chiefs. Also, I think it'd be perfect for the New England Patriots. Honestly, Wayne G., I don't know if you are a New England Patriots fan anymore or not. I know you've been kind of on the fence going back and forth on it since they fired your boy. Sorry, they mutually parted ways. But I think Tyler Boyd would be a perfect second-hand fiddle to Bourne, right? Bourne is coming off his ACL. Come back. He's your number 1. Tyler Boyd's your number 2. With Mac Jones, you can call him noodle arm all you want. If Tyler Boyd goes to the Patriots, guys, I might be picking the Patriots to get first in the East next season. Jameson said Boyd is gone in Cincinnati. He's gone. Wait, where do you think he goes, Jameson? Because he obviously has some life left in him. There are teams like the Kansas City Chiefs that need a receiver, the Patriots, the Bears, the Cardinals. You could probably throw the Browns in there. The Giants, obviously. What do you guys think he goes? Let me know in the comments. What do you think Tyler Boyd goes? Next up, Gabe Davis, Buffalo Bills receiver. He was the number 2 receiver for the Buffalo Bills last season in 2022. The Buffalo Bills drafted a receiver, and Gabe Davis quickly became a number 3/number 4 receiver. Obviously, some injuries kind of hampered his season like a little bit, but he had a down season. So, guys, where no way do the Buffalo Bills re-sign Gabe Davis? Guys, I love me some Gabe Davis. I think Gabe Davis is better for the Buffalo Bills than Stephon Diggs is. If I had to choose between Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis, I'm probably picking Gabe Davis. But Stephon Diggs obviously has a lot of money, dead salary cap against him. Obviously, the Buffalo Bills have signed Josh Allen to a big deal, Diggs to a big deal. So I think Gabe Davis is on his way out. No way. I don't think the Buffalo Bills re-signed Gabe Davis. He did have a down year, and he is the number 3 receiver on the team now. So there are a few teams out there that I think he would be great for. He would be a great complementary receiver. He will never be the guy. He will never be the number 1 receiver like a Tyler Boyd can for the Kansas City Chiefs. So I'm looking at teams that kind of already have that number 1 guy. A team like the Indianapolis Colts, Michael Pittman Jr. The New England Patriots have Bourne. Chargers have Keenan Allen. But if I had to gun to my head, and if I am picking a team that Gabe Davis signs for, I'm thinking the New England Patriots. I think Gabe Davis to the New England Patriots makes the most sense. You are in that division. You know the Patriots. They are doing the new Patriot way. I believe didn't OJ Mayo say it's going to be like the easier Patriot way or something just like that. Gabe Davis brings that grit to the Patriots that they might need. They might need that veteran leadership a little bit. Yes, he is still young and going to be a new guy on the block. But Kendrick Bourne and Gabe Davis with Mac Jones, plus that running game, good Lord. But I think Gabe Davis signs with the New England Patriots. What do you guys think? Jameson says, how much money will KC have if they sign Snead and Jones to an extension? They will have no money if they sign both those people to an extension. Reportedly, that Kansas City Chiefs will be franchising tagging Snead. They will obviously be working a deal out with Jones a little bit. But we all know that money is just arbitrary in the NFL. You can restructure and figure out what you want to do and push money to the end of the contract, do a little bit of this, do a little bit of that. So if they target a player like Tyler Boyd or Gabe Davis saying they're our guy, or if they go out and say Michael Pittman Jr., what is it going to take to get here? Or Michael Thomas, what is it going to take to get you here? I think players like Patrick Mahomes would be willing to take a massive pay cut to bring a player in. Now, I don't know about Chris Jones. Obviously, he wants his bag, but Snead is reportedly going to get franchise tag, and he has actually been granted permission to seek trade. So we'll see what happens. Jameson also says Kansas City, Arizona, New England, Tennessee, Baltimore are all possibilities for Gabe Davis. Tennessee, I feel like they have a receiver. Can't think of his name, but I don't think he is a true number 1 guy. They drafted him when they traded for AJ Brown. Cannot think of his name right now. So if you guys know, let me know. But Gabe Davis to the Tennessee Titans kind of makes sense, right? And like a nice little second fiddle guy. Hell, Tyler Boyd would make sense. I don't know about Odell Beckham Jr., but it is what it is. Jameson also says Buffalo is in cap hell. Gabe Davis flipped off the fans in their loss to the Super Bowl, so I'd be surprised if he stayed. When you flip off the fans, especially at Buffalo, get out of town, right? Now, if you're in a big market like the Chargers or the Rams or I don't know, maybe the Cowboys flip off the fans, whatever. It is what it is. But in Buffalo, you are dead to them. Jim says Jones is going to Las Vegas. We all know it. Too much damage with last year's negotiation. Let's think about this logically. If Chris Jones goes to the Las Vegas Raiders, he would be opposite, obviously, of Max Crosby. I don't know what kind of financial situation that the Raiders are in by any stretch of the imagination, but they potentially have their quarterback in AOC and Mr. Pornstar stash him like himself. But does a player like Chris Jones really put you over the top? Are you willing to bet your livelihood, Antonio Pierce, with Max Crosby and Chris Jones? On paper, on Madden, good Lord, watch out, baby. Watch out. Still need secondary. Still need to figure out what you're doing with Josh Jacobs. Still need a quarterback. Is Devontae Adams even want to play there anymore? I would hate to be a Vegas fan right now. I would hate to be a Las Vegas Raiders fan right now. Sorry, Jim. Sorry, John. I would hate it. Michael Pittman Jr., guys. Michael Pittman Jr. is a free agent as well going into the 2024 NFL season. And the Colts GM has basically said, we're going to do everything that we can to keep Michael Pittman Jr. here. Obviously, we all know about word soup during the combine and pre-draft and everything else. But way or no way will Michael Pittman Jr. be an Indianapolis Colt in 2024. Truth of the matter is, I don't think Michael Pittman Jr. is going anywhere. I think Michael Pittman Jr. is going to get franchise tagged. They're going to try to work out some type of long-term deal. Probably not going to happen. He's going to play on the franchise tag. They're going to franchise tag him again the following season. Try to figure out some long-term deal. Probably not going to happen. At that point, Anthony Richardson is going to become the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. In 3 years, Michael Pittman Jr. will be an unrestricted free agent and be able to shop anywhere that he wants. But in 2024, I don't think Michael Pittman moves on from Indy. He is staying in Indianapolis. Whether it's franchise tag, whether they get a long-term deal, they figure something out. But if they don't franchise tag him, if he gets, or if it's what was the tag that Lamar Jackson got put on last year, right? We're tagging this player. This is the potential contract, and if you match it, you can have him, right? I could see that happening. And if that were to happen, there's a team out there that I think would jump on the opportunity to pick up Michael Jr. in a heartbeat. And that's the division foe, the Houston Texans. I think the Houston Texans would jump all over Michael Pittman Jr. if he was able to hit the free agent market. Guys, the Houston Texans, they are a team to be reckoned with right now. They have a good defense. Their offense is pretty stout. You add a Michael Pittman Jr. with a Tank Dell to that situation, and we talked about it last week, potentially Saquon Barkley coming into town as well. Kansas City Chiefs better look out. Baltimore Ravens better look out. Browns better look out. Everybody in the AFC better be on notice. But I think Michael Pittman Jr. will be staying in Indy. But if he doesn't, I think the Houston Texans walk all over him or jump at the opportunity to get him. Jameson says, Chris Jones is going to the highest bidder. Why would he take a pay cut? He got his rings. Sometimes in life, guys, it is not all about money. Chris Jones got paid, what, $25 million last season or so, $35 million? He got a lot of money. Granted, he's probably going to get $35 million a season for the next 5-6 years for whatever team that he signs with. But life is a hell of a lot more fun when you're winning a lot of football games. Life is a hell of a lot more fun when you're putting more hardware on your hands. Life is a hell of a lot more fun when you can just pin your ears back and go get the quarterback. What is the greatest player in the NFL? Playoff Chris Jones. Not regular season Chris Jones, playoff Chris Jones. Why? Because he loves the spotlight. He loves the spotlight. He loves people talking about him. He loves the me aspect of it. So therefore, he is going to have to go to a playoff caliber team. He is also going to have to go to a team that has a good defensive scheme to where he's not going to get doubled and triple team every freaking play. Jameson, as a 49ers fan, you should know this. Bosa gets doubled and triple team and held damn near every play. That gives players like Arik Armstead a chance to shine, like Chase Young to like shine a little bit. Now, I think Chris Jones would take a little bit of a hometown discount to stay with the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not saying a lot by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm just saying just match it, right? Where do you think Chris Jones would shine if it not in Kansas City? Obviously, Vegas would be a great matchup, right? The 49ers would be great. But I'm not for sure of the cap availability for the 49ers. But I'm sure they're going to have to pay Brock Purdy pretty soon here. Money's tight. Money is tight. Now back to Mike Pittman Jr. Jameson says he's staying in Indy. I agree. Jameson also says Anthony Richardson will be a bust because if he doesn't stay healthy. The greatest thing about an NFL player is their ability to be on the field. The best ability is the availability, right? I don't think Anthony Richardson is going to be a bust. I think he learned from last season. I think he is still going to be a mobile quarterback. He is going to take a play out of Michael Vick's playbook, become a pocket guy, but be able with that threat. He is Lamar Jackson, but just better at Lamar Jackson, I think. Chris Jones to the Texans or Detroit. That's tough. That is tough because the simple fact is that the Detroit Lions just signed a Canadian football player that had 18 sacks last season. I think he'll be a perfect complement to Adrian Hutchinson. The Detroit Lions, I think, are all about the grit. They're all about the team player aspect. And I think Chris Jones is a little bit of me. I don't think Chris Jones to Detroit is a good fit. I don't think Chris Jones to the Texans is a good fit. You still have Will Anderson there. That defense is already pretty good. I mean, it would be nice. Chris Jones, Will Anderson on either side. It would be nice. It would be nice. Kevin Cummings is in the chat. He says Richardson issue is he's only uses 2/3 of the field. He doesn't throw to the left. Is that true? I'll be curious to look at the what's the chart called? We have all the dots. It's not a flow chart. It's just a spreadsheet. I don't know. Whatever. I gotta be curious. Now, obviously, we have a very short NFL tape on him. What, 4 games worth? 5 games worth? Is that dating back to college as well? I'd be curious. I'd be very, very curious. Interesting. Now, Michael Thomas Jr., guys, he is the last receiver that I have on my list. Obviously, Michael Thomas has had a turbulent last 3 seasons with the New Orleans Saints. Between his high ankle sprain and his calf and punching out teammates and re-injuring this, re-injuring that, he is now officially a free agent. So, guys, no way does Michael Thomas end up signing with the New Orleans Saints again in 2024. When we look at Michael Thomas, guys, he has, like I said, he's had a very turbulent last couple seasons. I don't think he likes the coaching staff. I don't think he likes New Orleans. Him and Derek Carr don't really seem to be on the same page. I think time has run its course. Michael Thomas is 31 years old and he wants to go to a winner. I don't think the Saints are anywhere close to being any type of Super Bowl contender, hell, playoff contender for that matter. The Saints are kind of behind the 8 ball with Derek Carr. Gave him a lot of money. Got Alvin Kamara. You have a lot of players on the defensive side that are going to want to get paid. But I think this is a no way. I think Michael Thomas does try to find grass is greener on the other side. Now, he should be worth around 11 to 12, $13 million a year contract going into 2024. So when he does move, you are not going to have a team like the Buffalo Bills or the Kansas City Chiefs or potentially the Ravens or the Cowboys that are all kind of strapped for money, right? As Michael Thomas would love to be ring chasing, I think he's going to end up getting paid a lot of money by a team like the Carolina Panthers. I think the Carolina Panthers are going to take a flyer on him, give him like a 1 year, $15-16 million deal. Oh, you're Michael Thomas. Save us. But I think Michael Thomas does not sign with the Saints moving forward, and I think he is pretty much done in the NFL, more or less. Let's go ahead and look over here at the comments here. Chris Jones of Buffalo. Jesus. Buffalo Bills can't afford to pay workers to come plow the snow. How are they going to be able to afford Chris Jones? Get out of here with that. I wouldn't say if it was true. They showed it in one of his games last year. Kevin says Michael Thomas is done, washed up, over. That's what Jameson said. Said as well. He's totally washed up. Kevin says last couple seasons, Michael Thomas couldn't stay healthy at least half of his career. He couldn't stay healthy half of his career, but he didn't. He set the all-time catch record and yard record in like a season. I don't know. Jameson says, I can see Michael Thomas going to Kansas City on the cheap. Let me ask you guys this question in general. A player like Michael Thomas, Gabe Davis, Tyler Boyd, Mike Evans, like obviously we know he just got his bag, but let's say he was just still a free agent, or Odell Beckham Jr. Obviously, Odell Beckham Jr. does have a ring. I can't remember if Michael Thomas has a ring or or not, but Pittman, Gabe Davis, Tyler Boyd, all do not. If a team like the Kansas City Chiefs says, hey, come play for us, we'll give you 1 year, $8 million, maybe 2 years, $20 million price range there, but you get an opportunity to play with one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. You get an opportunity to win a Super Bowl. You get an opportunity to make a lot of deals with like Gatorade and all that other stuff. Do you take less money to play a team with like the Kansas City Chiefs, the 49ers? We could throw in the Lions in there. Or would you go to a team like the Carolina Panthers that could probably pay you $25 million a season? A team like the Arizona Cardinals that could pay you $20 million a season. If you are one of those receivers, you do not have a Super Bowl ring, you really haven't signed a big deal yet, but you have an opportunity to take less money to play with the Kansas City Chiefs or take more money and go play with the Carolina Panthers, what are you going to do? Me personally, I'm taking the money. I'm taking the money. Yes, Super Bowl rings are nice. You get to wear them on very, very rare occasions, but for the most part, they just sit in a box, right? Yes, you get the memory of Super Bowl champions, Michael Thomas, Super Bowl champion, Michael Pittman Jr. But you have an opportunity to make $20 million a season. $20 million. Give me the money. What would you guys do? Kevin says, I'm digging the studio. It's not fake. It's a real studio. Kevin says, on the few seasons Michael Thomas wasn't injured in, yes. Jameson says the 49ers can free up $55 million with structures and extensions. Do you think Michael Thomas to the 49ers makes sense, Jameson? Do you think he would fit in as let's just be honest, he would probably be third receiver on that team, behind Brandon Ayuk, behind Debo? I don't think Michael Thomas to the 49ers makes any sense. I don't think it makes any sense at all. But it is what it is. And apparently, Facebook had blocked my music again. I don't know. It is what it is, YouTube. But guys, that's going to be it for today's show, guys. Thank you guys for joining us. We are live, raw, uncut sports talk. Feel free to talk your shit in the chat. But be ready for me to come at you. 100%. But guys, that is going to be it for today's show. Join us tomorrow, 10 a.m. East Coast time. If you're not a Pigskin Pundit already, click on the link below. Become a Pigskin Pundit. Well, it's $4.99 a month. Get you free merch. Get you free bets into our NFL pick 'em once the NFL season starts. The chance to win $100 bills, yo. And of course, get you the After Hour Show where we break down film. Today, we're breaking down good old Josh Allen. Breaking down how bad Josh Allen actually is. See you guys tomorrow. ELE, everybody, love everybody. We out.